Oh my, that is delicious. Well, I was working away at the cabin there, and I just got in the mood to have some fish roasted over the open fire. Haven't had it in a while, and well, since the mood struck me, I figured I'd take advantage and enjoy this beautiful day and go down and see if I can't catch a trout and cook it over the fire. If I do, it'll be a good video. If you got a stomach and you like food, stay tuned. Wish me luck. Quick little tip, I've mentioned it before. If you're in a little small brook like this and you can't read the water, you haven't been there much before, you wonder where the fish are lying, just take a piece of worm and throw it out into the tide, let it take it down, watch the worm, and watch where the fish grabs it. Then you know which pool the fish is in. I can still see the worm, It's gone, right there. So now I know there's a fish right there. Wonderful. Second cast. Beautiful brook trout, speckled trout, all native here in Labrador. Alright, so here's the trick. Normally, you'd cut a fish. Some people just cut the head off first and then put your knife in through here, a little hole in the back of the bottom of the fish there, and come up through the stomach and then take out the guts. Well, if you're going to try to keep your fish all intact and you want it to stay open, spread open, I usually just take the head off first. I usually go right around the head first before I try to cut that bone. Makes it a lot easier, and then cut through the bone like that. It just makes it a lot easier. Now, of course, this is the back of the fish. My goal here is to come down. If you can picture the middle of the back of the fish, it's right here. That's where the bone is. So I'm just going to go on one side of that bone. I'll pick the top. Turn my table over because it's a little drier on that side. Now, everybody got a different style. I probably shouldn't be cutting back towards my hand, but I've done this so much that I feel very confident for doing so. I just come right down along the back, and you can feel that backbone. And of course, this way of cutting open a fish is good for, like, if you want to smoke the fish too, especially if it's a smaller fish. You just come right back. It doesn't even matter if you cross over the bone or not. And you just don't go all the way through. Make sure your knife doesn't go through the stomach. You just gotta, that's the trick. Just come back along and stay away from that stomach. Now, of course, when you open it up here now, there's the backbone. I might even go as far as to take out that backbone. Why not? So I'll just come up on the underside of that backbone now, just to make it a little easier to eat, I guess. Come right down back to the tail. Oh, I'll try to skin a little bit there. That doesn't matter, all the way back there. And just cut out. There you go. That's the backbone of the fish right there. And there you have it. Now the fish kind of opens up just like that, right? Now you can just put it right on your stick. Now you want to find yourself a nice alder like this, because alder doesn't burn very well when it's green like that. And you got a nice fork into it, just like this one, and a long enough stem, because your hand is going to be down there. You're going to stick it in the ground. So we'll cut that one, no? I'm going to try to get all those little nicks off of there, because they'll just stop you from being able to get the fish on there. Some people just skin out all the bark as well, but it's a matter of preference. Now there's so many ways you can hook this fish up to your stick, you know. I'm probably going to go with this way today because it's just the right size for that stick I cut there. So you want to cut about 4 holes. Probably put one right here and right about here in the thicker part of the meat. And then maybe one right here and another right here. I like to keep the fleshy part of my fish exposed, so I'll put the stick in through like this and bring it up through the top after. Slide her back a bit. The benefit of having like a forked stick like that, you can turn your fish over. When it starts cooking, it'll stiffen up, and you can turn your fish over and it won't slip off. Now this tail part here, I could get a little crazy and put a little stick across there. Yeah, we can go all crazy, who cares? Not a far trip anyway. Most days, is it? Now, boys and girls, let's put some spices on there. Some Montreal steak spice today. Just keep it simple. Simple, but deliciosa. Oh man, I am hungry. Getting excited already. Just in case I get to eating some of this skin as well. Well, a mink just came out there and I heard him snap a couple times, and he tried to steal my meal. You get away, little buddy. I'll save you some scraps. Now I want to talk about some good people today, because we got some good people around us. There was a guy who sent me this pitchwood or fat wood. It's a really good wood for starting fires, and we don't have it here in Labrador. In fact, for me to get this is a tremendous treat. And a guy named Ryan Longquist, I hope I pronounced that right, Ryan, sent this to me. I've been using it here and there, and it's just amazing. And if you look at that shine, you can probably see that shine. It's like a wax, and it's and that's what makes it so. Is the resin is so thick in it, I guess, that it just makes it want to start when you put a spark to it. And on top of that, it resists water, so even if it was wet, it's almost like candle wax. It's amazing. So thanks, Ryan, for sending me this, and I believe he lives all the way on the other end of the country. So muchly appreciated. Good people. Amazing. And I find that when you start it too, it stays going for a while. Gives you time to get your branches and stuff and get your kindling over in place. Now I'm going to get that fish over that fire right off the bat, because I even want to get some of that smoky flavor to it, you know. Just what the doctor ordered today. I just was in one of those moods today. Keep it simple. Have a little bit of fish over the fire. Well, our fishing season is just about over here now, and that's another one of the reasons why I wanted to come down today, just to have like a final flick after a fish, kind of reflect back over the fishing season a little bit. We had a good season. We didn't get a lot of fish. We caught a few to fry up and caught a few to smoke, but mostly we just caught and released, and it was just nice to know that the fish were there, and they'll be there again next year. And speaking of good people, I might even put good people in the title of this video. I have a lot of people who tune in, you guys tune in, and I get unbelievably overwhelmed by the goodness that I hear from comments from all over the world. And it's rewarding to hear that, but it makes me feel good that you guys feel good about watching a video or whatever. If it makes you feel comfortable or makes you feel like you're almost like living through my eyes, and that's great too. And you guys don't see a lot of it, but you guys send me things like that pitchwood all the time. And a lot of people say they don't want their names mentioned and stuff. And like this summer I got sent a lot of spinners and lures and flies of all types. One guy joked and said, I want you to have these flies that I tied for you, but I don't want you to list my name because I'm still on the top 10 wanted list for the FBI. So I won't mention your name, buddy, but I enjoyed using your flies. Just this past week, Ian Curran and his wife from Ontario sent me another big jar of honey that they harvested, you know, natural bee honey, and it's so delicious, and you know it's pure, right? Because you kind of know the people. Ian and his wife write all the time, and they're good people as well. And he also sent me a little jar of Saskatoon berry jam, which I had on my toasted bread the other morning. And even his neighbor, who watches the channel too, donated a little jug of maple syrup. And those little things are small little things, but I know that you guys had to take time out of your day, package up those things, send them in the mail, which costs you money. And I've said it a ton of times. I think you guys realize I really appreciate that stuff. It's nice. It's a nice gesture. It's a good gesture, and it shows that there's good people. Good people. Good people. That's what this world needs more of, isn't it? When you start off your day, sometimes you don't know how the day is going to go, and you might be having a bad day, and all of a sudden a good person comes along and says something or does something that makes you feel good. And it's free to do that, you know. You can just help someone out sometimes, and it just gives everybody a good feeling. So be a good person. I try to be a good person. I'm not always a good person because I'm not perfect, but I try to be good. Oh, this is looking pretty good already, and starting to smell. That smell of cooked food. See it? Look, it's starting to brown up a little bit. You sometimes get a desire to put the fish right in the fire, and I just do that in the beginning to kind of crisp it up on the edges, but after that I keep it away a bit and just kind of let it cook through. It's not a marshmallow. Although marshmallows are good too. Cash canning tied me some flies this summer as well. Thanks, Cash. Now, speaking of honey, this is the jar of honey actually that Ian Curran and his wife sent me. Now you can put all sorts of spread on your fish, or you don't have to put anything on it. You know, I sometimes put barbecue sauces and stuff, but I often put honey on my fish because it gives it that sweet taste, and it also caramelizes into the flesh. And just look at that honey. Oh, oh, oh. I get a taste of that right off the bat. Oh man, that is delicious. Let's get some of that on this fish. Let's just pour some of that right on there now. Spread it a little bit after. Look at that. Oh my. Oh, I wasted some on my finger. Uh-oh, what can I do with that, I wonder? Alright, let's get a bit of that. Spread over that fish like that. I'm going to blast a bit of heat right on that now. Oh, you can hear it sizzling, it's dripping off. But undoubtedly some of it is just being burnt right on the flesh itself. And even the smoke coming off the honey, I can smell it now. That'll put a good taste on it too. Just even that. Oh yeah. That's the stuff. Now guys, tell me that don't look good already. You'd be lying. Just look at that honey caramelizing. Oh. Of course, no one says you gotta sit there the whole time. Just stick your stick in the ground and just let it cook itself. I think I'll go try for another little fish. Drip of that honey and that tea too. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for, especially me, because I get to actually eat this fish. All right, nice and flaky. Almost falling off the stick. That's kind of when you know it's done. Oh my, holy cow. It almost tastes like lobster, spiced up, but sweetness on it as well. Guys, if you have not tried this, you have to go try it. And I'm not just saying it for the sake of the video. It is something else. And I was so in the mood for this today. What's it young people say these days? There are no words. There are no words. It got a nice smoky taste to it as well. Now this is my jar of honey. And nobody's going to tell me that I just can't take that fish and dab it right in that honey. Guys, I'm enjoying this so much. And I made the right decision to come today. Simple, peaceful, quiet, nature, good food, good people. I think you guys can tell from my other videos that I love life. It's the simple pleasures like this that keep me grounded, you know? Anyway, guys, I'm going to keep eating this fish. Every morsel, including some of the skin. I'll throw some out for the mink. He wasn't doing anything wrong. I'm glad you guys came along with me today. And until the next video, take care of each other. Get outside and enjoy everything outdoors. And we'll see you next time. Guaranteed. Home run! And for those people who make fun of this line, that's what it was.
Get outside and enjoy.